Good evening, guys. It's Phil. It's All Leeds TV, and I am joined by the boss, and I'm presenting to the boss. It's Jack and Tash. Wonderful to have you along to the player rating.
She's the boss, not me.
And obviously, we have Mr. Beardface himself. Martin's with us as well.
Hi, guys.
We're all here to discuss what I think. Obviously, if you've seen Jack's post-match, most people are actually kind of happy about a good performance yesterday. Feel a bit robbed, but is what it is. We'll get into the player rating shortly. But how did you enjoy yesterday, Martin? Was it good for you, mate? Saying it like you had sex, like how was it?
Well, it was great for me, Phil, as ever with you. But yes, the game was great. A lot of passion on display. We really took the game to them. Really made them feel like they were in a game. To say that was up against the current champions of Europe, and we have got an injury ravaged squad. You really can't say bottle with what we did. We really took it to them, and so unfortunate to not get anything out of the game. It was frustrating, but proud of the performance overall.
Yeah, Jack, obviously, lovely to have you along. We've all seen your thoughts. You still feeling the same today? Different Leeds shirt on, but same opinion?
Yeah, it's a day later, but I don't think it changes how you felt about the performance yesterday. You know, the result. Yeah, it didn't go for us, but you can't. It's just the fight and the spirit that are shown yesterday. You know, a depleted side, 6, 7 first-team players out, and we matched the champions of Europe for 93 minutes until what happened, didn't it? But yeah, I overcome with them. I think I said in my post-match, I can take a defeat when I know that they've tried, and you can't say anymore. You can't ask anymore for what they did yesterday. They were fantastic.
And the boss herself. I'm not going to call you anything else. Sorry.
I'm going to say something else. It's all the boss. I thought we deserved to point out that bit gutted because I think we played majority of the game very well. And yeah, can't say much more than what everyone else has already said.
Yeah, obviously it was one of them where I think everybody saw the team sheet come out. Kind of even before the team sheet came out, everyone was just like, "We're going to get dicked here." And it wasn't the knowing the result that was bothering people. It was the knowing that we were going to get dicked and it be embarrassing. And then obviously the performance is the thing that I think has cheered everyone up. Nobody expected to go there and actually come out feeling like. I think a lot of the numbers tonight, considering the result, are going to be a bit surprising. Like, I don't think many people are going to get below a 6. I'd be surprised if many people do. And I think there'll be quite a few 7s and 8s, especially for the fact that we've lost a game. But realistically, like, it's kind of hard to pick anyone out and go, you had a mare. I mean, obviously, individual errors and mistakes and stuff have kind of cost us a result in the end. But at the same time, obviously, I'm sure we'll all sort of back the sentiment that was put out on our Twitter yesterday. Like, you are allowed to make a mistake in life and not have thousands of people send you messages and death threats and stuff. So, look, I was as angry with Mateusz Klich at 93 minutes yesterday as anybody, but you keep your opinion to yourself, or you share it with your friends privately. You don't send it to that person personally. Like, he's human. Like, there's just no need for it. Martin, I know you were particularly annoyed about the situation. I don't suppose there's that many people that would have atted Mateusz Klich watching, but if there is, do you want to give him a bollocking from us?
Well, hi. I was so frustrated with the reaction to Klich. I can understand the frustration. Yeah, he did cost us the point in the end. It was a silly mistake to make, but up until that moment, he had a good game. He was integral in the second goal, and that second goal wouldn't have happened without Klich's contribution. So, yeah, he did. He made a mistake, he did, but at any minute, so much so that he has removed his account. I mean, that just makes me sad because I don't want Klich to have that opinion.
It's as well,
exactly. I mean, I would question how long these fans have been fans. It could possibly be these are some of the newer fans who are just along for the Premier League ride, and they haven't seen the contribution which Matthias did for us in the Championship. And I mean, look how integral he was. He'd played non-stop for 2 seasons full up until the Derby game where he was absolutely smashed. And yeah, I'm so annoyed. I love the guy. He's been a great servant for the club, and it's just frustrated me so much. And if Matthias watches this, I hope he is. I love you, Matthias.
Well,
don't
we
let
know
him get you down.
they spend all their time watching all Leeds
Of
people
course, of course.
at Thorpe Arch. We know that, don't we?
Do you know what I think is harder as well, like for players, is that, you know, not back in the day without social media, they would have, say if they made a stupid mistake like that, you'd have all the crowd go, "Oh, you fucking wanker," blah, 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 absolutely give them loads of stick on the game. But then go home and they can clear their mind off it, you know, and start again the next game. But it's when they go home, they've still got all that constant people having a go at them and things like that. They're going to be thinking it. They're going to go in the dressing room. The elders are going to go mental at him, and the players are going to go mental at him. Then he's coming home, and it's all on social media and things. You can't escape it. There's no way. So how's he mentally going to get stronger for the next game when all this is going on as well? So you
literally need that next game to come around like that. Otherwise, you've got it. He's lucky, really, that Tuesday night comes around like that, because then he can kind of play behind him. It would be great to see him like bang one in from 30 yards on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Jack, you're going to be there on Tuesday. Do you think you will see him bang one in from 30 yards?
I doubt it. I think myself. I mean, you don't know. I mean, it's that old saying. Everyone goes, "Oh, they're earning this much money a week, that much money a week," and yeah, they're on fantastic money to likes of us normal people just doing 9-to-5 jobs.
Normal?
Yeah, well, say that half normal people, I should have said. But at the end of the day, they're still human beings, aren't they? You know.
Yeah.
And criticism does it hurts anyone. You're not human if you don't. If you're certain, you're getting criticism over mistakes that you've made. We all know he made a mistake yesterday, but Rafinha made a mistake. But obviously, he hasn't got the abuse, probably because Matthias Klich hasn't played or performed at levels that we know he can.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he made a scapegoat for yesterday more than what Rafinha did, because his tackle was every bit stupid.
Yeah. Oh, mate, if anything, I mean, we don't need to compare the two, but
no.
Rafinha's is more blatant.
Going in hard, whereas
his legs are up there like that for no reason. Just why? But yeah, anyway, we'll move on to the actual players then. We'll start obviously in goal with Ilhan Meslier. Conceded 3 goals, but doubt he's going to get anything like a 1, 2, 3, or 4. Like, it was just an all right performance, right? Like, Martin, what do you give him, and then give me your number?
Well, I think he had a reasonable game. I gave him a 6.5. I don't think he did a whole lot wrong. He saved 3 out of the 4 open play shots that he faced. Obviously, the 2 penalties were struck well. He didn't have much of a chance with those. And one of the shots that he saved was actually a big chance as well. So he did save us a big chance there. That's good. Yeah. His distribution was reasonable, especially for his short to medium passes. He completed 100% of his short to medium passes with 22 of 22 completed. He wasn't quite as good for his longer range passing with 7 out of 16. But I think I can't say too much for him other than the first goal. He was slightly culpable. The pass out to Dallas wasn't the best, and there wasn't.
And then he's in no man's land as well.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah, he wasn't that great for that goal. Not just the pass out to Dallas, and then his positioning wasn't great. But yeah, that 6.5 is what I gave him. It would have been more if not for the mistake on that goal.
I'm enjoying the little wry smile that comes on Tash's face when you put a 0.5 at the end of it. Because I don't think she's been here to see you actually 0.5. But...
It's weird having a 0.5 without getting shouted at by Oscar. I feel like I
know it's great, isn't it? And we've been doing this all season, and we know for a fact he doesn't watch this show because he's never done anything about it. But every show has been like 0.5s left, right, and centre. Even people in the comments now don't even care. They're just all like, fetch happened. Then Joe and Oscar are here to cry about it, and it's sad.
I'm literally sitting here thinking, I don't know, 6 or 7. I've been having an hour in, and then like,
Go on.
6.5. I like.
It's out. Just take the option, mate. Do it. What are you giving him then, Jack and Tash?
But then I'm like, do I give him 6.5 or 7? Is 6.5 still too harsh? I'll give him 6.8.
Some very knowledgeable people in these comments.
She's gone up a 1 step, 6.8, and even bringing it into the point.
See, that's pushing it.
The thing is, it's like, I think it's sort of his fault for the goal. You know, I know it was Dallas, but I just thought, you know, the pressure was put on by Meslier. His distribution was okay. I still think could have been better. And then I don't know. I think he could have done a little bit better with penalties, but that's me being very, very harsh.
Yeah, it's a penalty, man.
I think you're being very, very harsh there.
I mean, come on, the second goal, you know, because he went the other way the first time.
Look, he's known, Jorginho is known as probably the best penalty taker around.
Yeah, no, that is me being really harsh. But I just wanted to do something controversial. Yeah.
Where you going?
I just don't think he had that many like amazing saves to do or anything, did he? Maybe I just like can't remember. I fell asleep some days. I'm not going to admit that.
Lie.
I had about an hour's sleep, so I was really like watching the game. I'll let you talk. Waffling shit.
Now, I'm gonna Meslier. I don't think that for the first goal, I think we messed about it so much, and I could see it were going to come. They were just pissing about at the back of it, and I did think that the ball that he put out to Dallas is one of them high, long, floating balls that gives a defender or the attacker coming forward a chance to actually nip it and get it, and I think that's exactly what happened. And obviously Mount scored. But yeah, I'm going to give Meslier a 7. And the reason is because I loved how he ran up from one end of the pitch to try and do Rudiger.
Yeah.
So he gets a 7.
You've taken my point now.
He gets a 7 for me just for that.
Yeah. So I'm numbers wise, I'm going the same as Martin. I've gone 6.5, but the reasoning behind it was performance wise, I kind of thought it was just a bog standard Meslier performance. One of the goals I feel like he is at fault for, which is obviously the first one. Not necessarily the pass out. I don't blame him for that, but just the positioning when the cross comes in, like he's just in no man's land. I think he's expecting it to go over his head, so he's going to have to try and reach for it. But obviously it comes in low, and then the front post is just Bailey Peacock's Farrell style, unguarded, like nobody fucking cares about that. No, it is that bad. Honestly, if you watch it back, that front post, he's giving it about 10 yards where he just goes, fuck the front post, I don't care. And it just goes in. And then obviously, like, the thing that's rescued his performance level from a 6 just up a bit for me is the fuck off. And you know it's done in that kind of voice.
That ridiculously deep voice.
More Yorkshire, just Rudiger, fuck off, mate.
It just doesn't suit him at all. Like when you look at him, you just don't expect that voice. It's just hilarious.
No, so yeah, mate, I thought that was fucking brilliant. And obviously, like when he was just doing that at Rudiger just to keep riling him up. So yeah, he's definitely got a 6.5 from me. We'll start with the defence and we'll go from right to left. So we're starting obviously with Shackleton at right back. What does everyone make? Oh, here he goes. The formation's changed. He wasn't at right back. Where was he then? Go on.
Well, Dallas was at right back. He was marking right mid.
Fuck me, sideways. When?
He was, honestly. Have you not been seeing? Have you not read my tactical breakdown, Phil?
Yes, I read your tactical breakdown, Martin. I read it intently.
But yeah, it was 4-4-2.
Right back then.
Dallas was right back. Shaq was right mid. Rafinha was up front with James.
We'll come on to Shaq then, won't we?
Yeah. So Dallas. What did I go with Dallas? Let me just bring up my thing. Dallas had a 7 from me. I felt he marked Timo Werner well most of the time. Werner didn't have a single shot in the whole game, which is good because he although he isn't the best of finishers, he does still take up good positions. So it's good that he did that. He won a few tackles and had 3 interceptions, but he was dribbled past a few times, which brought down his rating, which would have been a lot higher than what it was. He also had the most successful pressures, so he had 7 pressures and recovered the ball 6 times, had 3 final third passes, 2 progressive passes, completed one take on and quite a few progressive carries as well. So he would have been lower than what it would have been if not for that. But I remember that I didn't drop it down because of his mistake on the first goal. So the 7 goes down to a 6.5 because of the mistake on the first goal. It would have been higher if not for that.
Listening to what is it? The one on Countdown when she's telling you her workings out because she's done.
Rachel.
Yeah, exactly.
Rachel,
yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to lie, Martin.
Could be related somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the resemblance in that bit. Yeah, no Rachel Riley for me. No.
That's fine.
Tash and Jack, what have you given Stewie D?
Well, I can't go into that kind of detail that Rachel just did because that would just it's just blow my mind. I don't even know how that comes. I always rate someone if I've seen a player smash someone, if I've seen do a good pass. But I think Dallas was steady. He was steady all game with Dallas. And on just that, and I think this just goes, because you're part of that 11 that did so well yesterday. It's a 7 from me. I can't go any lower than a 7. So yeah, 7 for Dallas.
I say either 7 or 8 because I would say 7.5 then because I thought other than the goal, I think obviously that was his mistake, but then I thought, it come at him quite fast and that, he could have just booted it out, but then, trying to control it, I don't think he realised how quite close that the other goal.
Well, I'd also just to add about the mistake that it was also Shackleton didn't do a whole lot to warn Dallas that Alonso was coming.
Why are you not showing that
up? He could have. I know Shackleton isn't a big player, but neither is Alonso. He could have tried to sort of block Alonso's run a bit to slow because Dallas was focused. Sorry, Sash, you continue your
It's
thoughts.
all right. No, you make me sound better by expanding on my points. But yeah, I just think other than that, I thought he had a really fantastic game. I just think defensively really good. Going forward, he was very good, and I think he was just running around like mad. Yeah, not quite as analytical as Rachel.
Rachel Beardface is my new name.
I sound like he runs really fast on the pitch, and I like it. But yeah.
I'm going to agree with all of you in terms of both numbers and reasoning. So obviously we've got 6.5, a 7, and a 7.5. So I'll just bang in the middle, 7. I'm not putting a 0.5 on the end. We're about to move on to Ayling anyway, so I don't feel bad including Ayling when I say this. But at the start of the season, Dallas and Ayling were both bang out of form, and you could see that in the way that we played. And I think yesterday, even though obviously the result's not gone our way, see, that's pushing it. Oscar's just sat somewhere with his accountant's hat on, fucking numbers. The fact that them two, for me, were back up to where I would say is their level. Ayling, obviously, we're about to go on to him anyway, so I don't mind saying it. Best game I've seen him having probably over a year now. At the very least this season, and most of the back end of last season as well. And the same with Dallas. Dallas is now back up to a level of consistent performances. And I think, obviously, those two being key to the way we play sort of is a good indicator as to why we had a good performance despite the amount of people that were out yesterday. So now that I've already begun on Luke Ayling, I'm going to let you talk a bit about what Ayling did well yesterday. Martin, I imagine the words progressive carries are about to come out of your mouth at some stage.
You know me too well, Philip. Yeah, Ayling had a great game. I gave him an 8. I just felt he was doing a lot of things. I put up a clip earlier of one of the particular movements which he did, was just great. He had the second most passes for us with 30 out of 40 completed, 2 progressive passes. His on the ball movement was just fantastic. He had the most progressive carrying yardage with 116 yards. He had the joint most ball recoveries with 9 ball recoveries. He won 100% of his tackles, and he had 2 of those. And he had the most clearances as well, which was 6. And he also won 2 out of 3 aerial duels. So he really had some all action display, both going forwards and defensively. I can't remember anything that he did wrong. I can't remember any mistakes. I haven't quite settled on the man of the match yet. I'm going to go through it as I go on, but he is in the running for the man of the match for me because he was just so good, I felt.
Yeah. I think he's probably a contender for everybody, to be fair. So you've gone 8.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What did you give Luke Ayling?
I've gone 7, but I think this woman is very good from Paul Wilson. His runs from the back are so important to how we play, and I agree. I think we really, really missed that in the last couple of games without Ayling. I think, you know, I've been really frustrated watching our other games because of the way the way we just sit so far back. And I think with Ayling coming in, we just push forward so much more. I think it's so crucial. And, you know, some of the long balls that he does are really good. And yeah. Yeah.
There you go. I'll go Ayling. I'm going to give him a 7. It was lovely to see the flop back. He did it once, I think, in the second half.
I love the flop.
And I think he gave a bit of a wry smile when he did it as well. So it was nice to see him doing that again. But I think he did nothing spectacular. He was steady and he was solid. And you know, that's what you want. He was obviously playing centre half, wasn't he, yesterday? It's squeezed in there, obviously Cooper being out beside Llorente. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing that sort of made him stand out, but he was part of a good unit. So yeah, 7, definite 7 for me.
I think I'm generally going to jump out of my seat if I can get a 0.5 to leave the mouth of Jack this evening, because everybody else has already gone on one. So I just need you for the full set. Into this chance here. Yeah, Ayling, I'm just going to echo what basically you guys have said. I actually think he was a contender for man of the match. I thought he was back to his best. And like I said before about the two of them combining, it's so important. And obviously, I think having Luke Ayling playing well made a certain Diego Llorente look a little bit more assured. Those cuckoo passes weren't quite as cuckoo all the time as they were normally. There was a couple that were a bit rogue, but went well. And I don't remember too many times where he did shit where I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? Which is something I've done quite a lot recently about Llorente. Martin, do you think Llorente looked better alongside Ayling as the right centre-back and playing in that left centre-back role himself than he does with Cooper, or are you going to jump to the defensive?
Well, Llorente, he had a mixed game for me. He did have a lot of good things about him. He was better on the ball than he was defensively. The stats don't tell a whole lot from him. He didn't actually make any tackles, and he also didn't have any interceptions. But he did recover the ball most with 9 ball recoveries. So he was obviously clearing up other people's tackles, recovering the ball after they've tackled. But like I said before, with his passing, that's where he did shine. He had the most progressive passes on the team with 6, including 2 final third passes. He completed 25 out of 33 passes. But he did struggle at times with Kai Havertz's movements, but he does have very good movement, and he dropped deep a lot, which I think Llorente was struggling with. He kept dropping deeper into midfield when Llorente was following him, and he didn't quite have the mobility to keep up with Kai. So, yeah, I think it's 6.5 from me. I didn't see a whole lot bad, didn't see a whole lot great, but his progressive balls did help out for me.
Jack and Tash, what have you gone for Diego?
I've gone, again, a 7. I think it's just that's going to be my theme here until a couple of more players. I can't give anyone less than
0.5s anywhere.
No, there's no 0.5s. I'm not playing that silly game with you. No 0.5s. I'm being serious now. But yeah, I mean, Llorente again, I don't think he did anything that stood out, but I just think he was just part of that unit. They were a solid unit, and you just can't give him less than a 7. But there's nothing I can specifically say that I've seen yesterday that made me say, "Oh yeah, that's fantastic." He was just solid. He was steady. He was steady away. Yeah. So yeah, a 7 from me.
Yeah, I'd be happy with either a 6 or 7 because yeah, like I say, didn't do anything spectacular, but didn't do really anything that bad either.
Yeah. I'm going to go 7 as well. To be fair, I'm not going to wind anybody up. It is the appropriate
7.5.
No, because that would make him, I think, better than I actually give him credit for. I think 7's realistic. So moving on to left back, and someone who normally has struggled to get anywhere near a 7 so far on these shows for a while now. Junior Firpo, I imagine, will struggle to get anything below a 7. I imagine. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Well, I'll start first. It's an 8. 8 for Firpo from me. I thought Firpo had his best game in a Leeds United shirt yesterday. He looked more composed. He's even attacking. You know, he's pushing on and attacking. His control. When you seen him, you didn't think, "Oh my God, what's he going to do now? Is he going to slip? Is he going to give it away? Whatever." He just looked so composed yesterday. He looked a player yesterday, and also he went in for Rudiger. So
he gave him one of them, didn't he?
Giving him a 9 just for that, just for actually going. But no, me said it. I've got to give him an 8. I can't. You just couldn't give Firpo less than an 8, and I'm really happy that he played so well, and hopefully more to come from him like that.
Yeah, huge improvement. So I'm going to go 7.
7.
Martin?
Yeah, that Firpo again had his best game of the season for me. He was very dominant in a lot of the things that he did, especially with his aerial duels. He won 4 out of 5 aerial duels, which was great. And he had the most progressive carries on the side, even beating Luke Ayling. He had 7 progressive carries, so he was definitely carrying the ball well from deeper, from just beyond the halfway line. He was getting a lot of those, which was just great to see. He won 100% of his tackles and had 6 ball recoveries. His passing was very good. He had the second highest pass completion in the side with 31 of 38 completed. And he also actually completed the most passes for us. He had 1 key pass and 1 pass into the penalty area, which showed that he was contributing in the final third as well. So yeah, I echo the same as Jack. He got an 8 from me.
Yeah, I'm going to side with the boys. Tash, you've been a bit mean. 7.
I think
7's low.
7.
Get that up a 0.5.
Go on. I'm going 8. I did think he was very good.
He still did a few little mistakes and then going backwards like quite a bit, but yeah, I thought, just from my opinion, that at least everyone has half of this guy.
That is extraordinarily harsh, Justin. Extraordinarily harsh.
Justin, is that a piss take, mate, or is that a legit one? And if so, can you send your reasons in as well? Can you send in your workings out like Rachel would?
Fine, an 8. Don't pull a Christmas card on me. That's low.
So, moving on to who was clearly at right midfield yesterday, Jamie Shackleton. Martin, Jamie Shack, who was clearly at right midfield yesterday. What did you think of right midfielder Jamie Shackleton?
I felt he struggled, to be honest. He actually gets the lowest rating from me today. He only got a 5 from me, which might be very harsh. I don't often give, but I did feel that he did struggle a lot with Alonso's movements. He did win a couple of tackles, but he had virtually no involvement in the final third at all. I mean, I know he's a right back, but our right backs play quite attacking, so they're expected to be able to be involved in the final third. And I just didn't see any of that. He only completed 9 passes out of 13, which is only 69% completion, which is very low. And if it was someone more creative like Rafinha, you can get away with having low pass completion because they are trying things, but I don't remember him trying any speculative passes. Also, like I said before, on the first goal, he didn't really help Dallas out at all. Didn't try to block Alonso's run to nick the ball off Dallas. But yeah, so I just didn't like to see him at right midfield. Disappointing performance from him, but I'm sure he's still young. He's going to improve. So I'm sure, I hope he doesn't take it too personally, that performance. But yeah.
Jack, Tash, what do you think?
Right, again, because moment, I can't go less than a 7 for any player yesterday. But my problem that I have with Jamie, I mean, he's got all the endeavour in the world, but what really annoys he gets that ball and he goes backwards with it all the time. He always seems to, he don't look the way, he's always goes backwards. And I know preferred position, from what we hear, it's a central midfielder, isn't it? He wants to be a central midfielder. I just don't see a central midfielder in him. I don't. You know, I'm not going on about his size and what have you. I just don't think he would make a good central midfielder for Leeds United. Maybe for another team, but I can't see it for us. But again, he did nothing spectacular, but he did nothing wrong. He worked his socks off, like they all do. So yeah, a 7 for me for Shaqs.
I'm gonna go 6.
I'm going to 6.
Yeah, and I agree. He just goes backwards a lot, but you know, he used to be so direct and like eager. He used to have that like, you know, Geldart bit about him where he weren't afraid and he was always going for. But it seems to be like a bit of a block there at the minute. Like Martin said, he could have helped Dallas a bit more with that mistake. Yeah, on their first goal.
Yeah, I mean, I think 7's very, very, very nice, Jack. Very nice, and I get the reasoning behind not wanting to give anyone lower than a 7. But and look, he's not going to get a 5 from me. I'm going 6. I just kind of felt like I didn't really know he was on the pitch. Just really easy to miss. And like some people will say the same about Mateus Klick at times, where you don't really notice him until you actually start looking for him. But in the position that Shaqs was playing, like, not that I was obviously aware of what position he was playing anyway, but you just can't go missing. And with Rafinha dragged out of position, which, you know, is a decision that isn't up to us. It's up to Bielsa, and whether we agree with it or not, it's bollocks. He'll do what he wants. But I just really struggled to replace Rafinha in that position with Shackleton, who just did it. I think he's going through a period of games where now that Luke Ayling's back, when everyone's fit, Shaq's 100% on the bench. Like, he's got no claim to the right back spot, got no claim to a right wing spot. I don't see him as a midfielder in general anyway. So for me, he's becoming a bit of a squad player. And when these chances come and Ayling's not in or someone else isn't in, I do think he has to take it. And obviously, yesterday might not have been a chance for him to take an opportunity to vie for a slot in midfield or even at right back. But you've got to take a chance where you are in any position. And endeavour-wise, yes, I get that effort-wise, you can't fault him for putting the running lengths in and trying hard, but the end product, like, it gets thrown at other players often enough, and I don't really see much of it this season, to be honest, from Shaq. So I've gone 6. I'd like to go higher, but I just can't. We'll move across the midfield anyway.
Just want to say thank you for the super chat. So Carlos Oli, aren't we? He's put, I agree with Jack. Nobody deserves less than a 7. I would have given anyone a 10 if they had slapped Rudiger.
Definitely.
He thinks he's a macho man. He does it a lot. He wouldn't get away with that back in the 60s or 70s. And I like Bremner's guys. Imagine if Baradi had been on the bench.
No, imagine if Calvin was there. Calvin wouldn't have stood for half of that either, to be fair.
No.
And Coops wouldn't have let people get pushed around a little bit. Lorente got pushed around a little bit, to be fair.
Yeah.
He didn't want to fuck with Cresswell, though, did he?
No, when Cresswell came charging him, Rudiger
went straight for Lorente instead.
Because if he's like how big he is, and as soon as he came over, it all started.
He's a unit, isn't he? He's a unit.
Yeah. We'll move on to. We'll do Klick first. Oh wait, sorry, Klick came off the bench, didn't he? We'll start with Adam Forshaw.
Yeah, Forshaw he had another superb game. I gave him an 8 as well. He had a top performance. He had 23 pressures, 5 tackles, and 6 interceptions, which was the most combined interceptions and tackles on the pitch. He was absolutely everywhere. I haven't seen his running stats yet, but he had to have completed the most yards. He was just
normally does
everywhere. He had no surprise, he had the highest pass completion of any of our starting players, with 83.3% completed of 25 of 30 passes complete, 2 progressive passes, 2 final third passes, and 1 key pass. He's just the glue at the moment, which makes everyone around him have to do less work because of how much work he gets through. And it's just surprising me. And I really hope he can stay fit, and I hope he isn't doing too much work for his body to cope with. But that's just I don't want to say that.
quiet.
If I would have said, "Oh, he's going to be fit for the rest of the season," that's me tempting fate. I'm saying that I'm hoping he does.
Just don't mention the word fitness, injury, hope, anything. Just talk about his performance and nothing else.
Just stricken from the record. If I had one of those Men in Black flashy things, I'd flash it at you. But
thank you. So, what did you give him out of 10?
He had an 8.
8.
Thank you to Rob Swift. Evening all. Overall, the team was so much better than the Brentford game. We have to applaud them, the team, for lifting themselves like that role on City. Yeah, 100% agree. And I think I think we always do play better against better teams. So when everyone was like so downhearted the other day, I mean, I did when the injuries started coming and coming and then coming and going, I was thinking, oh God. But then when I seen that obviously they had about 7 players out, I thought, this could go all right then. And then, but yeah, just that fight, passion, everything that they had was just amazing. But yeah, back to Forshaw then. Do you want to
It's on you.
Yeah.
I think that it seems to be a recurring theme at the minute about Adam Forshaw. He's just absolutely brilliant, isn't he? It's just since he has come back, I think the team need him. They just need him so much, don't they? You know, to me, he's become the most important player now. More important than Calvin, more important than Rafinha. But he's just so important now. And you'd actually, you know, I think he went down there and in second half, and my heart went in my mouth. I thought, oh no, that's it. He's out for about another 2 years now. That's it. But he's just so important now. And, you know, for me, it's a 9. A 9 again for him yesterday. I thought he's man at match for me yesterday. Yeah. He's just controlling everything, and he makes the game look simple. He just makes it look so simple. And so when a player does that, they are top notch, the top quality. And I think he's proving, you know, why we paid what we paid for him.
And why we spent so much, you know, on making him get better. And, you know, with the injury, most clubs would have just got rid. But yeah, and I agree. I think a 9. And I think, you know, to come back from, I remember someone said to me, like, every injury that a footballer has, they get worse and worse after that injury. They'll never ever go back to how good they were before. And he's just got better. He was really good in the Championship just before he got injured, but yeah, he's been absolutely phenomenal. And then not only to be out for 2 years, but not be in the Premier League as well, not have that season in the Premier League and everything. And, you know, with everyone was like, oh, can they handle the Premier League? Like, can they step up for the Premier League? And he's just come in and just absolutely like...
This is easy, isn't it?
It's easy. Like you say, he just made it look so easy. And it doesn't make us feel so bad when Calvin's out. When Calvin gets injured, we're all like, no, we're definitely going to lose. I know we did lose, but like... feel like a loss, but I think it makes us feel less worried when Phillips gets injured. It's just so cool, calm, collective, everything. He just he kind of reminds me a little bit of Ben White as well. You know how like calm he was and how we would just get the ball past it. Like I say, it's not about doing anything fancy. It's about, you know, pulling it, like connecting all the dots, isn't it? At the end of the day. Yeah. Especially what we need when we're losing the ball so many times from everyone else. And, you know, he's just, you know, always picking it up, passing it on. And, you know, it's just, 9 for me.
Yeah. I'd probably a lot of what you've just said, Tash. The thing for me about Forshaw is just get the ball, keep the ball, pass the ball. And make it look easy when it's not, because everyone else on the team at times managed to make it look really fucking hard. but even games where we played shit, he's made that look easy. I can only really think of one game so far since he's come back where I haven't gone a solid 8 out of 10 performance. And even then, I think I gave him something like a 6.5. It was never poor. Generally speaking, I think he's just so reliable. And I think I'm not the only person in the world to have written this article, but I did an article obviously last year at the beginning of the season when Calvin got that first injury and he was out for a little period of time. And everyone was talking about, you need to go into the January transfer market last January. and replace Calvin Phillips, or in the summer we need to buy someone that can play that position. And I put at the time, like, I genuinely think that the solution is what we did in the Championship, which was just put Forshaw there, get him fit, put him there, it'll all be fine.
I think it's quite a famous tweet now, isn't it? What someone put when we're buying them and we're getting any new players. Adam Forshaw said it, didn't he?
Yeah.
He said it, and
it doesn't look silly now.
It doesn't look that silly now, does it?
When you think about what we've all said we need a midfielder that can play the number 4 role. They can play as a number 6, a number 8, a number 10. They can actually be an all-round central midfielder that plays in all the different central midfield roles, not just defensive midfield, not just a number 10, but all of them. And in fairness to him, he can do all of them to a very high level. Like, you've got Robin Koch, who is a centre-back. Pascal Struijk is a centre-back. And then Llorente, centre-back. Bielsa will try all 3 of them in that position, but they are centre-backs. Adam Forshaw is a midfielder. Yeah. He's a midfielder in all of those positions, and he looks like it's natural to him. So for me, it's an obvious fit, and it's so good to see it working. And like you all probably like different times lent towards seeing him go down and being worried about it. Like, you don't want to have a team at the moment without him in it, because he is that important to us. I've gone 8, somewhere in between. You two are 9s and me and Martin's are 8, so that's clearly an 8.5. We got one out of Jack eventually. Tyler Roberts then. I'm assuming, Martin, you're not going to argue with me. Tyler Roberts was in midfield, yeah?
Yes, he was. Yes. He was indeed. He was alongside Forshaw. Roberts had a good game. He got an 8 from me. He had another good performance, which makes it 3 good performances in a row, in my opinion. So that's great to see. Some consistency from him. That's what I was about to say. He perfectly laid on Gelhardt's first ever Premier League goal. That was a cross that Rafinha would have been proud of. It was inch perfect. Got to the exact place where Gelhardt was making his run, and he had, on top of that, he also had some good creativity going. He had 3 shot creating actions. He completed 1 out of 2 dribbles, which would have been more, but he was actually fouled the most on the pitch with 3 fouls drawn, more than Rafinha. He had 3 progressive carries, which were all in the final third. So he's definitely getting
my
involved.
Only point, and I didn't expect you to go there. I thought you'd leave the getting fouled bit out, because I didn't.
That's something I picked up on. A couple of them were in dangerous positions as well.
Rafinha's free kick.
Exactly. Well, two of Rafinha's free kicks. The one which
like 2 minutes apart.
Yeah, exactly. So the first one which Mendy saved, and then the other one which wasn't a great delivery by him. But
it's the way he won them as well. Like they were both ailing flops in a way. Like, there was very little contact, but he made
it was still there. Exactly.
He was throwing his bum into people. Like, go on then, touch me.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then he'd go down when they did. It was great.
It's great to see him having that sort of thing, because that's such an important and underrated part for an attacking midfielder and a striker to do, is to win fouls in dangerous areas. Look at Jack Grealish. I don't like him as a person, but as a player, that's what he's known for, is winning fouls in dangerous areas. And on top of his offensive contribution, Tyler had a good defensive game as well. He had 3 tackles, 17 pressures, and 7 ball recoveries. So he was in the run for the man of the match. I'm going to give my man of the match at the end, just to make it a bit more exciting.
You guys, what have you given him?
I've gone for an 8.
Yeah.
Right. I've gone an 8 for Tyler for 2 reasons. I'm happy that the kid, he seems to have a bit more confidence about him now, and he played well yesterday. He did one hell of a crunching tackle.
I remember the one.
Tyler. And I don't know who the Chelsea player, but he absolutely smashed him. And I thought, that's what you want to see. That's it. Someone smash him, and obviously the ball in. Like I say, if it had been Rafinha, the plaudits, everyone had been going off their head. What a fantastic ball. He could not have put it any better for Gelhardt, you know what I mean? So, definitely 8. And I'm just pleased that he seems to be finding a little bit of form, because he's the I think he's the target at the minute for the fan base, and he's the one that seems to be getting all the criticism. So, an 8 for me. 8.
Yeah, and I think as well, Jack's been rooting for Tyler all the time. We've criticised him. He's constantly been like, "No, he'll get good. He'll get good. He'll get good." Like,
yeah, but I will be truthful. I think I started thinking he's not, is he? He's not going to get good.
Because you kept saying he's such a natural gifted player, isn't he? And you know, we've all gotten his back, but I think we've all wanted him to do well and prove us wrong. You know, we want any player to prove us wrong, but especially him. And it's very hard to come out again mentally when he's had so many like bad comments. He's probably thought it a lot himself, and that. So to come out, and I think he started coming out better as soon as like Bamford was gonna challenge him for his.
Maybe. Yeah. The timing is great for him.
See, I actually think, last season, some people said that he was shit last season. I actually thought he had like a good 10 to 12 game spell where Bielsa started him week in, week out, and he was absolutely fine, to be honest. But even in that spell where he had a consistent run of games and like he never set the world on fire, he finally got a goal and everything, but he never put in the kind of performances that we've seen from him in the last 3 weeks. Like the last 3 games, like Martin said, these are the best 3 performances I've seen from him since, those 2 goals at Hull. Like it's been a while since we've seen him actually look like he's found his level and be in a position where he looks like he's comfortable. But the last 3 games he's played in different positions and he's still just looked consistently good. So I'm genuinely quite happy with the way he's been for the last 3 games. And yeah, like Chris said, there's a big difference between hate and rate. I don't think any of the fans hate him, or at least I very much hope not. There is obviously some section of the fan base that didn't think he was good enough, but fingers crossed the last 3 games has changed some opinions. If not, I'm sure he's feeling confident enough anyway that the next few games coming up, he can just keep playing well, and that'll eventually turn people's opinions around. We'll get on to the left-hand side anyway, and to Jack Harrison. What did you think of Jackie yesterday, Martin?
I felt he did a lot of good. I did really like his performance, especially his defensive contribution. He had a very tough man to mark in Reece James. And James wasn't staying in the normal place where a right wing back would be. He was drifting into midfield a lot, and Harrison was following him, and he really limited James's impact on the game. Normally, James is one of Chelsea's main outlets from the wing to whip crosses in, and James only had 1 cross which didn't find its mark. So that shows that Harrison was really sticking by him the whole game. He had, I've put his defensive contribution. Where is it? 1 second. 3 tackles, 2 interceptions, 8 ball recoveries. So he clearly was very active defensively. He was dropping deep a lot following Reece, and on top of that, he had some good work in the final third. Didn't personally create much himself, but he was linking up play, and which always helped. He had a little part in the goal for Gelhardt. He was one of the players who linked up the play between Click and then getting it back to Click again. So he had 3 final third passes, 2 passes into the penalty area, and completed 1 of 3 take-ons. So yeah, I gave him a 7.
Jack, Tash, what have you given Jack Harrison?
Again, with theme there, I can't give anyone less than a 7, but I don't know. I don't even remember him playing, if I'm being honest. I don't know. I can't remember anything that he did that he contributed to the game. Yeah, I think he was involved in the second goal. I think he was involved in one of the touches, wasn't he? But I don't know. He's just hit and miss for me, Jack Harrison.
I'm going to be honest. The thought that came into my head yesterday was put him back on loan to us, because as soon as he signed the contract, it's gone downhill. I'm actually going to give him a 6. I just didn't think he really did anything, and name. He does run into dead ends a lot, and I think he's just been.
I mean, we can say that.
Yeah, we've always
said that. He's got the best
first
touching club. It's unbelievable.
And sometimes, when everyone's like, "Oh, get Harrison off," I'm always like, "Well, I like to have him on for knowing the amount of times we keep losing the ball. We're doing absolute shocking passes. I know that no matter where it's going, it's like he's got a magnet in his foot. It's still going to get to him. So that's the only reason why I'd keep him on the pitch some of the times. But I'm going to be honest. I did think, I was even saying I'd have him as a sub. So I think give him a 6.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of agree with both sides. I did think he did a good job on Reece James in that we haven't sat here and talked about Reece James hammering us, and he has been one of the most prolific people on that side in the division this season. But again, on the ball, I do kind of okay. I think most women do, Chris. Yeah, generally speaking, I wasn't and haven't really been that enthralled with Jack Harrison this season. I think from the, weirdly enough, I keep saying it on these shows, the Blackburn game in pre-season, seeing him there, the touch is just unbelievable. But there's been so many games this season where the ball has just bounced off him. And then when the ball bounces off Jack Harrison, you know it ain't going to be your day. And again, similar to what I said about Shackleton in that you kind of didn't really notice that he was there, apart from in the build up to that second goal, which is why I'll give him a 6.5, not 6. But minus the build up to the second goal, I can't say I remember a right lot that he did. Maybe one bit of tracking back towards our own corner flag in the second half, but very little notable, which isn't really, like Tash kind of said, to be honest, what we've known from Jack Harrison for the last few years. It's like, you know, Luke Ayling's goal against Huddersfield, you know, that's Jack Harrison. That's Jack Harrison getting down the left and, you know, maybe hesitating slightly, but getting a ball in. It's a good quality ball that ends up in the back of the net, whether that be an Ayling goal, a Bamford goal. Like, you haven't seen that from Harrison. You wouldn't know that this time last season we were all talking about Southgate needs to look at Harrison, you know, 8 goals, 8 assists. I don't know off the top of my head what he's got this season, but I doubt he's got any goals or any assists. Martin, quickly, has he got a goal or an assist this season?
I don't think he's got a right lot. If a lot.
Beat the man anymore, does he?
No, the Tottenham goal, yeah, he assisted Dan James's goal at Tottenham, didn't he?
Yeah, just the one assist. Just the one assist.
Other than that, I struggle to sort of think of anything creatively that he's done. It is going through a bit of a lull for him at the minute. So fingers crossed he can put that right against Man City, his old team, on Tuesday. We'll move on to the two up front. I think we'll start with Rafinha, because I'm intrigued to see what people think on the Rafinha performance. Obviously, there was a goal in the penalty. There was giving away a penalty. And then I'm intrigued to see what you think in between. Was it good or bad? Martin, I'll let you start on Raf.
He had a mixed bag. He had a mixed bag, did Raf. He obviously put away the penalty with aplomb, but he did give me a little heart attack again with his little skip. I can never get used to players doing that, and it just terrifies me every single time. He did have a good creative display here. He had 1 key pass, 1 cross completed to the penalty area, 1 pass to the penalty area, 4 shot creating actions. He had 2 out of 4 dribbles completed, 3 progressive carries, and 2 carries to the penalty area. So he did have most of the stuff which he would contribute to Rafinha. But there was a couple of moments where he made the wrong choice for the pass, and there's a couple of times where he was looking to go past too many players when a pass would have been the simpler thing. And also, obviously, the challenge to give away the first penalty was quite reckless. Yes, he did get the ball, but he also took out all of the player as well, which made them want to look at it again, and that drops his rating down to a 6.5 for me.
I'm going to give Rafinha a 0.5 for the shithousing he was doing to Chelsea fans.
Yeah, when he scored his penalty, yeah.
So I'm going to give him a 6.5 because, again, like, silly mistake. Yeah, I'm the same as Martin. I absolutely hate it when they do the skip thing. I mean, in the fan cam actually, I didn't put Brentford up, did I? Didn't even put that fan cam up. But yeah, like, was it Brentford? No, it was Palace, wasn't it? Yeah. At the Palace one when he did it, and then I thought, have you not seen the England game? Like, when we was doing penalties, they all did like crap run-ups and stuff like that. So yeah, it gives me a heart attack. So for nearly giving me a heart attack, you can have 6.5.
Again,
Jack,
I can't go below 7 for many of them this week. It wasn't his best game, was it? But I think what it is with Rafinha at the minute, we're just expecting magic every single game, and it's hard, kind of, it's hard to constantly week in, week out, unless obviously like a Mo Salah or someone like that, them kind of players, you're not gonna be able to produce week in, week out. But the penalty, I mean, at first I thought it's not a penalty. But then,
yeah, I did as well at first.
You
But
watch it after, and I'm exactly the same as what Martin said. It's his momentum that causes the penalty. It's stupid to just dive in like that. It was reckless to dive in like that in the penalty area. It's 9 times out of 10, it's going to get given against you, isn't it? Even if you win the ball, you're still going to end up taking the man because the force of movement.
And it's also the fact of the player he was doing it to. It was Rudiger. It's not someone who's going to likely to do anything amazing. Just stand up to him, block the cross. You don't need to dive in like that.
No, that's it. Yeah.
So someone's put, I wish we got a close up on his dance, so I'm just gonna share that for him.
I was going to say, it is on Twitter. I have seen the dance, and it's right in front of the Chelsea fans. It's very fun.
Here we go.
A random question for you all. Did anyone else notice this? The socks yesterday, were they Chelsea's socks? Did we borrow their socks?
I don't know if we borrowed them, but they are different, yeah. Because
We
you were
don't
like,
have
I
them.
love them yellow socks, don't you?
Yeah, we had to wear yellow because obviously Chelsea had white socks in their kit, so we can't wear the same colour socks.
We ain't got any yellow socks.
We haven't got any kit with any yellow in it all, have we?
That's what I mean.
No,
So
but I mean like the socks or
That's
we've
their
got
socks.
the blue one, and we've got like that lilac, haven't we?
Yeah.
But we've not.
I'm honestly, I'm sure we've borrowed their
Mate, do you
socks.
know something? I haven't thought about that. But
I noticed it before kickoff. I was going mad. I was like,
That's a
we're
good
not
point,
wearing
is that? That's a good point, is that? But I'd imagine that they can afford to buy 11 pairs of socks that are yellow.
what with their £250 million bench.
Goalkeeper
exactly.
socks. Goalkeeper socks.
Are there?
Right. Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So before we finish on Rafinha, so what did everyone give him numbers wise?
I said 6.5.
7.
6.5 for me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm going again, same as you two guys, 6.5. The only thing I did want to, I'm not going to focus on yesterday, to be honest, because you've all said it all already. But just if anyone hasn't already had a look at the Golden Boot race, obviously Mo Salah's top with 14. Then you've got Jamie Vardy on 9, Diogo Jota on 8, and then Rafinha is 4th in the race for the Golden Boot. Has the same amount of goals as Cristiano Ronaldo, Sadio Mane, Bernardo Silva, one more than Mikel Antonio and Mason Mount. So yeah, we've got a Leeds United player that's going for the Golden Boot that isn't Patrick Bamford. We've 2 seasons in a row. We've actually got a goal scorer, and obviously Bamford's going to be out for most of this season by the looks of it, so we're going to need him. So when it comes to the 2 up front, we've already dealt with Rafinha. What did you think of Dan James? He got absolutely clattered by his namesake, didn't he?
Yeah, he was really in the wars with James. He was on the receiving end of a number of quite bad tackles, and to be honest, that challenge by Reece James could easily have been a red card. If a different referee had it, or if the challenge was by Dan James on Reece James, then I reckon it probably would have been a red card, because it was a scissor challenge, and remember the infamous Pascal Strauch scissors challenge, which he got a red card for, even though he didn't touch the man. But yeah, he had a good game. I thought did Dan. He won the penalty great. He didn't die for it. There was contact. He played the ball before the player came in for it. He had some good other things besides the penalty. He completed 1 out of where are we? I'm looking at the wrong one there. He had his defensive performance was great. He had 4 ball recoveries, 2 out of 3 tackles, won 22 pressures, which was second most on the pitch. His offensive contribution was good with 2 key passes, 1 pass to the penalty area, 6 shot creating actions, which was the most for us, 2 goal creating actions, and his movement with carrying game was great with 2 out of 4 dribbles complete, 5 progressive carries, and 3 carries into the penalty area. I really saw the sort of performance that Bielsa will be very happy with from James, because not only was he contributing in the attacking third and getting involved in the penalty area, he was also good defensively as well, and he was pressuring their back line very well, putting a lot of pressure on their wide centre backs. He got a 7.5 from me.
On first watch, Martin, did you think it was a penalty? First watch.
The first time I saw it, I was kind of in between, but then when you saw the replay, you couldn't question it. In my opinion, it was definitely a penalty. I didn't quite see it close enough. I was sort of half paying attention when my kid was doing something in the background, so I missed the first initial challenge. But
yeah, good excuse.
Well, the kids were always there, so yeah.
Until you get rid of them.
Yes.
Jack, did you think it was a penalty on first watch?
On first watch, no. But then when you watch the replay, yeah, definite penalty. I didn't. I thought.
Mate, even after the replays, I still was.
I did actually say. I said, "Have we got a penalty for that?" I thought it would be. But anyway, I think mine more or less said it all day. I thought he got some awful rough treatment in that first half to Dan James.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, that so-called assault by Reece James on him. You know, when you watch it in slow motion, it was quite dangerous. That, and I do believe if it had been the other way around, it could have been a different outcome and a different decision made by the referee. But again, I think he's another one. He's starting to grow. He's growing every week now, and he's getting better. I think every week. So yeah, 7 for me. But everything that Martin said really is all. I can't really add anything else to it. You know, just steady. Another one who was steady.
7 for me as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 7. I think he was good. He just runs all the time, doesn't he?
He does.
And obviously with the penalty, the fact that we all kind of went, that's not a foul. And then when you see it slowed down, the fact that it's just his raw pace that gets him there first, is growing into it now, I think. We'll go for the subs. I think there's very little that can be said about Charlie Cresswell, so I think we'll leave Charlie Cresswell where he is.
He did smash Lukaku within first challenge, didn't he? He went straight through back of him. So yeah, give him a 7 for that.
Give him a 7.
And also he fronted up to Rudiger as well. So
yeah.
we'll give him for that as well.
Yeah.
But obviously, I think we've already done our little bit on telling people to not at players, but Mateusz Klich, we'll talk about his actual performance. Don't get me wrong, I do think people will take a point off for giving away the penalty, and the penalty at the time as well. That 93rd minute, he's going nowhere. You don't need to make the challenge, but look, he knows what he's done, and we'll leave it there. Like, other than the penalty, Martin, how did you feel he played overall? Like, do you think his general performance deserves a 3, or is it just the penalty and people emotionally reacting to the penalty that are going to see numbers like this come in?
Well, for me, if it wasn't for the penalty, he would have had a very good performance off the bench. He definitely made a positive impact to the attacking play when he came on. He was getting quite high up the pitch, trying to get progressive passive going, and he was, like I said before, he was integral in the second goal. That goal doesn't happen without Klich. He recovered the ball, ran past 2 players using good strength in doing so. A couple of link-up passes later, and he was laying Tyler on with the perfect weight of the pass for Tyler to cross in. That's an underrated thing to do, is laying those balls down, because you can so easily overhit them. You can so easily underhit them. If you don't get the weight of the pass right, it's just ruined. And on top of that, he completed 11 of 13 passes, so he barely passed it astray. 1 final third pass, 1 progressive pass, 4 shot creating actions in only 32 minutes. So that's a lot of shot creating actions in a very short amount of time. The highest one on the pitch had 6, and they were on for a full 90 minutes. So he was only a couple behind in only 32 minutes. However, obviously his mark does get brought down slightly because of the penalty decision. He didn't need to make the challenge, like you said, Phil. Everyone makes those kind of mistakes. It was a very pressurized time late on in the game, and that is why his penalty will be remembered and criticised more than what Rafinha's was, because of how crucial it was in the end. But he got a 6.5 from me, which would have been higher if not for the penalty decision.
Yeah. Jack, what do you think, mate? I'm intrigued because obviously you said no lower than a 7 for anyone.
Yeah, well, I think Oh,
Sure.
look, he was involved in the goal, wasn't he? Involved in Gerard's goal. I think overall, he didn't do bad, but obviously he's tarnished his game with the error at the end. You know, we know. I think it's like it was a schoolboy error, wasn't it? I mean, even Sunday League players, you 3 minutes into injury time, you just don't make it. You just stand your ground. I mean, Rudiger was going nowhere. Where you just stand your ground. It wasn't like you were up against a Messi or something that could have nutmegged him. It was a big daft Rudiger, wasn't it? You know what I mean? The big silly centre half. Just stand your ground because he's going to go down. You know.
I want to see this. If you can send this, please send me this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's on Twitter somewhere.
I actually blame Phil. I think it was Phil who said, "I told you it was going to be a draw."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When we scored, so you jinxed it. So I don't even blame Klitsch. I'm just going to send him a letter saying it was all Phil's fault. Don't you worry.
Right. Yeah. I've got to give Klitsch a 6. Just for the penalty I've gone against now. Thinking about
That's not what you wrote down.
I've got to give him a 6. The error at the end, which has unfortunately cost us a point. But
yeah, I'm going for 6.
But still, I don't think he deserves the kind of abuse and whatnot that seems to have been going around. But I think, unfortunately, social media is
what it is, isn't
it? And it's, just
all right. But unfortunately, we all know how social media can be. It's a shit place, especially Twitter. But no matter what he does on the pitch, he doesn't deserve to be abused wherever, whether it's in person or online. But I can understand why people are annoyed. I must admit, if you'd have asked me after the game yesterday, my number would have been significantly lower than I'm about to give, but I've given him a 6. I probably would have gone at least a 5 yesterday after the game, maybe lower, because I was fuming. Everything was his fault at the time, but looking back, Rafinha's given away a penalty too. The 2 daft mistakes. I don't call the first goal a daft mistake. I just call it being outclassed and being picked off. But those 2 in particular, giving away penalties, are just silly. And we need to learn from that. And you can't make any sort of progress in learning in life if you don't make mistakes. So let's hope he learns from it really fucking quick and don't do that ever again. But yeah, no, 6 out of 10. I thought he controlled the game well, passed the ball well, and helped Forshaw out in midfield, and obviously had his part to play in creating that second goal. So people have got short memories, but fingers crossed they'll have equally short memories when he scores on Tuesday night. The other substitution to discuss, and I know people might say, like, well, it's only one thing he's done, but that moment,
10.
I thought we were winning the game. I thought Joffy had got us not only a draw, but I was like, we're going to go fucking get another one here. Come on, Joffy, you've done it, lad.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, I actually said it to you, didn't I? We could nick a point here before we scored.
3, mate. Come on, Joffy's on. So
yeah, I was thinking we had the momentum to get the victory after he scored that. It was such a great moment, and I'm so pleased for him to get his first Premier League goal in that sort of atmosphere away at Stamford Bridge. Yeah, it's so heartwarming, isn't it? Got to be so proud of him.
But over is just bursting online.
Exactly. The limbs. Did you see the video that she put up of the limbs?
Yeah.
that was great. I love that. He got an 8 for me. The perfect subs performance. He made an instant impact for his first touch of the game. Just he's a special talent, and
not his only touch, Martin.
No, he did. He had more touches.
It was his first.
I've got a couple of things. He scored with his first touch. He even got a key pass, a progressive pass, and one final third carry in the 8 or so minutes he was on the pitch. So yeah, not bad for a less than 10-minute performance.
What did you guys give him?
You're gonna give him an 8, aren't you? I can't go less than an 8 because he just came on and he was there in right place at right time.
Yeah,
striker's instinct. But again, it's one of them. What does the lad do what more does he have to do to get a start now? You know, and to have a bit of a run in the team, because
Yeah, but when he did start, he was very quiet.
he played well against Tottenham. That's the only game he started.
I thought he was quite quiet.
Oh, he played well against Tottenham. He did. He runs and he's off loads of energy. He won't stop running. But I think he needs a bit. I think he needs a bit of a start now. Bamford's out for. We don't know yet. They haven't said. They haven't given.
the point.
Is he a couple of weeks or whatever it is that he's out for? But give the lad a run. He needs a run now in team.
Even if he's not getting a start week in, week out, don't save it till the last fucking 8 minutes to bring it up. But like it was it the Palace game where we saw him warming up like half an hour before the end, and then he went and sat back down, and then they brought him back out with about 10 minutes to go, and then he went and sat back down again, and then he's for a few games I can remember now. I think did the same with Brentford, brought him back out. Rafinha was like, "No, I'm all right." Went and sat back down again. Just fucking bring him on with half hour to go, so he's actually got time to make an impact. I know Martin will say, well, he made an impact in the 8 minutes that he was on the pitch, but surely that warrants getting more than 8 minutes. Like, I want to see him come on. If we're 2-1 down with...
Yeah, because if he came on and he did that before, then we could have had another goal.
Exactly. Yeah. I genuinely felt, especially after he'd scored, that we were more likely than them to go on and get another one.
We looked in the ascendancy, didn't we?
Yeah, I thought he could give us that. And obviously he did it at against Wolves at home as well. Yeah. So I think give him... I mean, don't get me wrong. If he did start, I don't think anybody would look at the team sheet and go, don't like that. I think everyone would be buzzing, but at the same time, like, just give him more minutes off the bench if he is going to be on the bench. Don't save him for the Shackleton sub of last season, 93rd minute. There you go. There's your glorified minutes for no reason. Have we all decided on an 8 then? Tash, what did you give Joffrey?
No, I'm giving him a 10.
You give him a 10?
Yeah.
Who's your man of the match then? Yeah.
Joshua gets a 9. He gets a 10 because he scored and he didn't do anything wrong.
So I'm assuming Joffrey's your man of the match.
Family was on Twitter, just made me love him even more.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask everyone who's man of the match for you. Martin, you go first.
For me, it was Forshaw.
Tash, you've gone Joffrey then, with it being a 10.
Well, I'm gonna have to now. No, I'd say Forshaw because of like him impacting the whole of the game.
Give him a 9. Give him a Joffrey a 10.
Don't put me on. It's very late.
I'm following the rule. It has to be Adam, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's got to be Adam.
I'm going to break the mold. I'm going to go Luke.
You just have to be different, don't you?
Yeah,
the three players who were close to me for man of the match was Forshaw, Ayling, and Firpo. Those were the three that I was trying to decide.
My three were Forshaw, Roberts, and Firpo, but I've got to go.
Yeah, I had 4. Roberts was in mine as well.
Yeah,
they all deserve it.
I couldn't hear you through Jack.
I went Ayling.
Oh, okay.
But it could have been Ayling, it could have been Firpo, it could have been Roberts, and it could have been Forshaw. I think generally speaking, the squad, the team, they played a lot better than we expected, and we got a performance, and that makes me feel a hell of a lot more. I wish I would, trust me. I could do with it right now. It makes me feel a lot more confident ahead of Tuesday, and obviously we got 3 points at the Etihad last season. Stuart Dallas is now back to being prime Stuart Dallas. Luke Ayling is back to being prime Luke Ayling. Rafinha is going to be angry and hunting. Someone needs to fucking hospitalise Fernandinho on Tuesday night. I'm telling you. I don't care if he's on the bench. Find him and hospitalise him.
Has he even been playing for City? I'm going to look it up right now. See if he's likely to play.
Rafinha better hunt him down and punish him for last season.
Yeah, that was just absolutely diabolical on one of your fellow Brazilians as well. That just makes it even worse.
He needs ending, and someone needs to snap Grealish as well. Keep 11 men on the pitch and win. We're all feeling confident for Tuesday night. Smile, you're on camera. Go on.
No, let's not get carried away. It's going to be look. It's going to be another test, isn't it?
Is Paul Wilson still in the comments?
Hey,
we beat Man City. No, is Paul Wilson still with us?
I haven't seen him for a while.
Oh, Paul, mate. We need you.
And I actually had to, where on the one when Paul was on about the the no-look pass that Roberts apparently did in the last game. I could not find it anywhere. I looked at all of the first half. I couldn't find it. So, Paul, if you are listening, you can rewatch the game and tell me where that no-look pass was. Or
just apologise to Tyler Roberts. But yeah, Tuesday, Jack, you're going to be there, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going, yeah. I am.
Tash, you going, yeah?
I'm not going.
You're not going.
Sorry, no fan cam again, guys.
No, because I can't be bothered doing all like that.
Oh, well. Well, we do have plenty of content to keep your eyes peeled on the channel for over the next few days. Tash, do you want to do the
I don't know well, I think you should stand up and show your t-shirt.
I was going to do that. We're also got plenty of merch going. Have you got yours on?
Does it look like I've got?
You own the channel, mate. You should have it on.
No, because Chris will come at me because I've worn it for the last 3 or 4 streams. And he was like,
mate, I've got baby stick on mine and I'm still wearing it. Wear it.
I've only just noticed that now you said it.
No, it's been,
I had the t-shirt and the jumper on the other day.
Honestly.
But yeah, so we've got merchandise. And then so I don't know, are we doing watch along tomorrow? Not tomorrow, Tuesday. Maybe if I can force Chris to do one because he's still having a paddock.
They'll get demonetized anyway, will Chris?
I might be able to join a watch long. It depends what time the kids go to bed, but I will try and join you if you want.
Well, Chris and Rhiannon are around mine, so we may or may not do one. It depends how drunk we are because we don't want to annoy everyone. But yeah, we've got that. We've got Leeds United Lasses on the Wednesday. Thursday we'll probably have maybe Scotty might do a pre-match, and then Friday
we'll still have a big match preview and a player ratings coming again as well.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's Tuesday, so you leave you to that. Don't worry. So yeah, we'll probably be back tomorrow and Wednesday again as well with big match preview and player ratings. Tash, is there still links below to donate and stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, what would they be donating to, Tash? Do you know?
What, for the Leeds United Foundation?
Yeah, why would they donate to the Leeds United?
I'm off because I've got to get up early now.
Yeah. We've got to name the snowman. Someone said, have we got a name? He's gone. We don't have a name.
Hi, Jack.
Almost. Right. Well, I think Jack's basically told us it's time to go to bed now. We'll see you tomorrow, I think, for big match preview. Martin, is that me and you? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be in it.
Sound. Right. Thank you very much for joining us, Tash and the Snowman. Give Jack a hug from us. Good night, and hope he enjoys Tuesday, and I hope you all enjoyed joining us tonight and enjoy the game on Tuesday wherever you're watching. But keep locked on the channel, and we'll obviously be back. Good evening, everybody.